Hello everybody, we're having a Saturday afternoon witter. That makes a change, didn't it? So, all quiet from me since the Wednesday. Yeah, been a bit busy though. Totally and utterly full of busyness. It's raining out there, I can hear it, and it just took my mind for a minute there. It's just starting to rain, I can hear it on the roof. I'm sorry about that. Right, okay, so I apologise now. That the most of this witter is probably going to be me selling you stuff if I can. Nothing like being truthful and honest about it, is there? But yeah, no, I think, you know, I'm very, very excited now. As our nephew once said, and we did laugh and uber excited. Isn't that cool? Uber excited. I like that a lot. Hello Matthew, if you're watching. Matthew, he's our nephew. He's an engineer with the Red Arrows. Very, very proud of that young lad. Bless him. Right, okay, so uber excited to say, over this side, I have our new range of templates for that there quilt behind us. And he's come up trumps, bless him. So I'll go through all those in a minute. And the other thing that I've been majorly busy with is, look, we've now got a written out pattern for the same one quilt, for the 5 patch. So I've called it Witter Quilt 4 because it was the 4th quilt, wasn't it? And it's 5 patch blocks. And so what I've done, because several of you asked, could I do paper patterns? So what I've done, I'm loath to just send a pattern out as it is. I just don't see that that's right. So what I've done is I've done them up as a pack, right? So you've got there was 13 blocks in the end there, because if you remember, in the center we had 4 blocks that were the same. So the way I reckon we do it is 13. You pick whichever one you love the most and you do extra of that for your center or for your 4 corners. Totally up to you. So what I've spent 2 days doing is writing your pattern, okay? So basically you've got a bit of intro blurb there. Here you've got a few photos, an explanation of how to do your half square triangles, because they feature hugely in there, don't they? So there's a little bit of explanation there for you. And then we've got nice photos of each block with the joining instructions, i.e. 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, all that sort of stuff. Or if there's anything, where we go, this block is easier made up with sections and then joined together, so you're making your sections and then piecing. Basically how I explained everything in the previous witters, but a paper version of, okay? So you've got all of that going on there. Look, pages and pages. I think it's a 12 or 13, 14 page full of colour photos there. And just because I could and because I thought it was funny, look, it got me wittering on the back. So yeah, so you've got a full on there and you've got 13 full-sized patterns, all right, like the ones I was showing you and that I've put elsewhere. So if you do need a paper version of it, there and there, comes in a nice little pack. Now that's going to be £15 by the time I've printed it and put it all together, okay, plus any postage or whatever. So you'll find this, if you're in need of it, over on abbyand.com in my shop, all right. Up behind me there's always a little thing that says abbyand.com, okay. I'll put the details or the link on my Facebook page for you, all right, so that you can pick that up and find that if you want, okay. So that's Witter block 4, which is the 5 patch. So each of those blocks are 10-inch square finished, okay. So we put that there. So to go along with this, you've heard me going on for several weeks now about, we could do with some templates to make our life easier, because they're all a bit fiddly, yeah. So I had Andy from Crafty UK make us some templates, all right. So what I've done, I did up a sample block. Now you've not seen that one. In that sample block you've got all sorts of weird shapes going on that we would see in here. So we've got long rectangles that are chopped into triangles. Now trying to get them right and the angles are an absolute pain, as you have found out probably. We've got different sort of lengths and sort of squares and tiddly squares, and here and here. I love this one actually. I'll call that my mountain triangles, because actually that's a square and you've got an equal whatever triangle in there and the bits. So you've got templates for that. You've got templates how to sort these out. And this one is brilliant here, where you've got a square within a square. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried them before, but you'd think that would be actually quite simple. But the square within a square is never an even size. It just don't work that way. So we've got templates to do that as well. It's just a little bit fantastic. So, right, now what we've done, because actually we've landed up with loads of templates. We've got them in two different ways, all right? So we've got them split up. I don't know if you can see. I'll show you these in a sec. Into 3 sets for whatever you find useful, because it might only be that there's a couple of blocks there that you think, you know, that's good, or no, actually I ain't never going to do that, I don't need that. Or we've got a complete set. He's very clever little lad, he really is. Right, so set number 1, you've got 2 pieces there. Now that is what I was saying there about your square within square. So that's giving you on here the details, and they are odd sizes. They're not a 2 inch or a 3 inch or anything. They are the weird sizes that you need to go within a 2 inch, a 3 inch or a 4 inch square. So that it sits like that for you. And then you've got your little triangle that will go there, there, there and there. And they will do 3 sizes, 3, 4, 3, 4 and 5 inch. Let me show you, it's all written on there. No, I'm lying. It's 2, 3 and 4 inch squares like that. They will make up for you, so you get them exact. All right. All of his templates, by the way, have got sticky, grippy things on there, and they're all nicely. I don't know if you can see that. What happens if I put it on? No, does that work? It's a bit yellow, but you might be able to see it. Probably not. Anyway, so it's got lots of lovely lines and measurements and stuff all over it, and little how to and where it fits, because he's put these clever little square within a square type indications, and he's got our name on it and his name on it and everything. All right, so that is set 1. Okay, in that you have got, let me show you, there we go. You've got your outside, that's set 1, and that's just briefly telling you about 2 and 3 as well, in case afterwards you feel the need. And in here you've got the how to use it, okay, and on the back here you've got the instructions for this block here if you fancy to go with it, because it is different to any of the others that we've done, because I was showing off all of the different shapes and measurements and such like that you might need. Okay, so you get one of them in there as well. Right, so we'll just put that back in there before I get myself in a bit of a pickle here and a mess. So that one, that little set there, that's £12. Okay, and what we're going to do for a minute, we're not charging you postage on any of these. Okay, we're going to do that as a bit of a special offer, so you're only paying for your set. So that was set number 1. Oh, I feel like a proper TV thingy and everything. Oh, set number 2. Right, now I actually really like this, and this is me probably being very lazy. Okay, so set number 2 is actually just a nice little handy sized ruler. Okay, so he's 2.5 inches wide by 6.5. Just for ease, because do you know what, I don't know about you, but I've been doing things with whopping great rulers like that for tiny little piddly, is that swearing? I'm sorry. Tiny little squares and things. And it's a pain, isn't it? So this is a 6.5 by 2.5, and it shows you it'll do you a lovely 2 inch with your seam allowance on it, and you've got markings on it everywhere that you can work your seam allowances out if you want. All right, so that's just handy. All right, so that's that one. And then nested squares. Now you may well have a set of nested squares like I've got a set of nested squares, but I got him to do these ones with their seam allowances on. All right, I'm doing this in the hope that you can see. I don't know if you will. Oh, I tell you what, if I do it that way, you might see it better. Okay, but anyway, so you've got all these lovely little nested squares, but they are including your seam allowance. So when you're cutting out your squares and bits, so much easier than fiddling. All right, so what we got? We got 2, 3, 4, and yeah, 2, 3, 1. Get it right, a 1, 2, 3, and 4 inch square plus your seam allowances. All right, just to make life easier, because I for one had enough by the time I'd done that lot, I tell you. So that's set number 2. That might actually look, oh, that's a bit of something and nothing. Well, fair enough. I think it's fabulous. I like it a lot. You've got the same insert with the how to and what to, with details of that blocking as well if you fancy it. All right, so that's in there as well, and all the different bits. So that one, he's £13, okay, because he actually takes up a little bit more acrylic and takes more time to actually cut and do and all the rest of it. This is all the technical stuff that Andy does. Andy from Crafty UK, by the way. That's what he does. I just think about them and design them, and then he goes and makes them and presents them in very clever ways. He's very good, very good. So there we are. So that's set 2. Right, and then we have set 3. Now, I particularly like this one, but I like all of them. It might be easier if I just show you that, okay? So we've got set 3 is one large looking thing here. That actually looks like something that used to be in a geometry set at school. Could be, who knows? But that gives you, where are we? There we go. You see these long rectangles that have been divided into triangles. Now they were an absolute pain. I don't know about any of you when you're cutting these. I kept getting them around the wrong way. So you can reverse your template to get them whichever way if it's needed. Or is that the same? I don't know. Anyway, brain's gone. So these make up, you get 2 of them, put them together, and they make a, get around the right way that I can read it, that does help, a 2 by 4 inch rectangle that finishes at. That one finishes at 2 by 6 inch. Spectacular. That particular one, I so wished I'd had it when I did this one here, this block here. Because yeah, I cut it all wrong several times, which I think I whinged about at the time, which is probably where I came about I need something to do it with. So that's that one. All right, and it also does a nice fat one, which is 4 inches by 6 inches. So that's a handy one for your elongated triangles. All right, and then there's this one. Now I've called this me mountain template. Because Andy called it that the other day, and I thought, you know what, that sounds so good. It's a peaked mountain, all right? So it's, let me show you, it's this big square here, all right, with the cream. That's your mountain peak in the middle there. That's your sky, yeah? So we got 2 bits here because this is an awkward bit of triangle to get right. Okay, so what we've done, you've got 2, 3 and 4 inch, because so your square will finish at 2, 3 and 4 inch. Then you cut one of those to go that side, and then you turn them round and you cut one of those to go that side, and it all fits rather nice. It's a bit cool. I like this a lot. So that's your mountain peaks, I reckon. But then, yeah, I won't say any more. So that also has the pattern within, and the how to and all the rest of it. Now that is set number 3, and that's 13 quid. All right, so as I say, no postage to pay on these at the minute. We'll review that when we get further down the line, but we've got that nice little special offer going on in a minute. We'll pay postage. Okay, so that's those. Now, for those of you who are really into it and doing that and fancy doing similar stuff, you've got all 3 sets combined for £33, and that'll include your postage. We'll pay postage on that one. Now this one, he's very good. This is a recycled video box to keep them all in. How good's that? Stop them all busting and breaking and the like. Because if you drop triangles on their heads and their noses, they do tend to shatter and do stuff, no matter how good you are with making them. So you've got instructions in there. You've got set 1, set 2 and set 3. Okay, and they're all non-slip. Yeah, there we go. And that's 33 quid. So what's that a saving of? So 13, 26, 36, 37, 38. So that's a saving of a £5 before you even get to the special offer that we're paying your postage. That's all right, isn't it? There we go. So, and if you're wanting, obviously, there's the pattern for that lot as well. Oh, been busy. Sorry, you got to pay the postage on that one. Cause that's a totally separate beast going on. I could have just put the price up and said the postage is free, but I don't think that's right. I don't cheat like that. So there we go. Oh, it's all so exciting. But we've been very busy between us. I mean, to be fair, that's taken me a couple of days to write that and get that right for you. And I know that Andy has spent a lot of time presenting these, all right? I had to spend a day making and drawing out and taking photos and trying to actually explain to Andy what I wanted to do, because he's at the other end of the country and I'm down here. So there we are. So that's all good. Now, what I will say is these are all going to be over on my shop, abbyann.com, very shortly, if they're not there already. Because we're sat trying to sort that all out earlier, okay? I'm hopeful that that will all be in place a little bit later. My mate Julie's helping me on that, so with a bit of luck, she's busy doing that as we're talking, or as I'm wittering, whatever. Oh, it's just so exciting, isn't it? And then, because you might want to do that, look, I've only got a few of these left. They're the different Tilda fat quarter bundles that I used in that quilt there. So I used one bundle plus extra blue, cream and green, and then obviously your sashings, not sashings, I'm lying, border and cornerstones is another colour. All right, but these were the basis of whatever. So if anybody wants those, we've only got a few of them, and they're also over on abbyann.com. I've also got some rolls of fabric in the same similar. All right, it's all very exciting. If you want a kit for that, I can cut you the other fabrics. Thinking about it, that's just off the top of my head. But it has to be said, I've only got a couple of each of the blue or the I've got purple, I've got a lot of the corally colour one, and I've got a couple of blue ones as well. So if anybody wants, and you do want a kit, you better message me quick and I'll work out a price, okay? There's only a case of whatever that works out to meterage wise, and a bit of postage, and obviously your pattern will go in there. This is all getting very, isn't it? It almost sounds semi-organised, which is a bit worrying, but there we go. Tom, bless him, pussycat, he's over in his bucket over there at the minute. He's not happy with me this last couple of days. I did put a photo on, I think it was yesterday or the day before. He was stretched out on the floor behind me here and poking his claws at all of the everything he could on the shelves, because he was getting ignored because I was so busy doing all of this. So we had to have big fusses and cuddles and things, and he's put himself off into his tub today. He's happier today, but he wasn't best pleased with me yesterday, I have to say. Never mind, eh? So what else have we been doing? Oh, another new pattern coming up. Tell me. Rubies and Cream. Rubies and Cream was a mystery quilt. I think that was last year's mystery, or one of lot. Do you know, I get confused because there's been many now. Deco Days, and then before that was Rubies and Cream, which is basically a vase of flowers and things. And we're going to call this Deco Vase, all right? But it's a smaller version of the big proper full-on quilt that we were doing as a mystery. So it's a simpler thing, but not simpler in so much as it's become smaller, so it's fiddlier in that way. So I'll get that written up hopefully next week. So we'll have a new pattern next week. I still haven't written up half of it. Look, you know I was on about my list the other day. Well, the list has grown. It's got inserts and things written all over it, and it's got even more on the back now. Plus I've got one going on here. I don't seem to be getting anywhere with it. It's good though, isn't it? It's all fun. I do find this amusing, I have to say. So have you all been busy? How you doing with your Witter quilts? How you doing with your blocks? Have you done any? Haven't seen any photos for a few days. Would be nice to see some photos over on the Facebook group in the Witter Quilt bit. See what you're all up to. I trust you're all well. Had conversations with several different peoples, which has been nice, and messagings and things. So that's been lovely. Hopefully, as of next week, I'm going to start doing a few just little mini sessions indoors, because we have to have the gaps. Because otherwise that's not right, is it? We'll see, because it's shop, but distancing and screens. And I've got some, I'll tell you what I did get. Well, I think they're quite good. We've got some visors, full-on visors. So actually, we should be all good to go, I reckon. So any of the locals, any of you wanting to come in just for a little session, we'll trial it next week and see how we go. Can but see. But I am obviously around for postal orders and whatever else is normal, which is rather good. Paul's busy doing his sewing machine servicing, you know. We've had another little featherweight come in to be serviced today. I do like them. I've got a little one under the table that was gifted to me, which is absolutely fabulous. And this is I don't know if it's our second or third one in for servicing, which is lovely. They're very, very popular at the moment, and so easy to transport for classes and stuff. I love them. So yeah, we've got a nice little featherweight going on there in its box. Very good, very good. Got some, that's something that I've not told you all about before. Got a couple of different second-hand sewing machines all ready to go. Paul's cleaned them all up, got them all working nicely, so there'll be a few bargains hanging around. If anyone's local and wants one, give me a shout. You never know what we got around. They'll sort of come in and go as they do. I might have to start sticking them onto the Facebook page so that you're aware of what we got. That might be a good thing, mightn't it? So what we're doing, so we got the new website over on abbyann.com, or it's the new looking one. It's all the same gear on it, but it looks different. The shop's in the process of doing, so all the patterns and everything are over there. This lot is either on or very, very, very close to being on. And then the fabrics, some of the fabrics are on, some of the cow stuff's up there, and I'll get a few more. If there's any of my patterns that you do look at and you think, ooh, can we have a kit? Ask. Yeah? If I've got the fabrics, I'll do it. If I can do it with replacement, similars, I'm happy to do it. So just because I'm not advertising a kit, don't think it's not doable, because actually I've done up 3 kits this week for different people from what I've got behind me for my different patterns, and that's all been good and lovely. So yeah, so there's another thing there that we can do. All right. Oh, it's all sighting stuff. And my pebbles came. Did I tell you about my pebbles last week? Paul out here, bless him, he's worked so hard. I think I told you about me bunting and me umbrella for outside in the sunshine, only it's been raining ever since. We got, instead of gravel, we got pebbles, and it looks like shingles, and it looks like we're on the beach. I absolutely love them. I might have mentioned this already, because I really do love them. I can sit here looking at them, and because it's raining, they're all wet, and the colour comes up in them, doesn't it, when it's wet? You get all these lovely browns and oranges and creams and things going on. And I'm looking straight out the door here, just in case you're wondering what I'm doing. I can hear the birds as well. When I'm talking to you and I sort of wander off, it's because something outside's flown past, or a cat's gone by, or I've just got distracted by the weather. I do apologise, because I know I do that a lot. I sort of drift off from you and I'm talking and it's like, oh, what's going on over there? It's like now I've just caught an eye indoors of one of the cats, the grey, baby grey, he's just walked across the window. Because we've got 3 house cats as well. We've got Mummy Cat, and we've got Ginger, and we've got Grey. They're all really novel names, aren't they? They came to us as strays. Oh, what, 9 years ago now, nearly? 8.5, 9 years ago. In snow and horribleness. Mummy cat, we saw her out with this little ginger kitten, tiny. I was like, what are you doing out? You shouldn't be out. So being the mug that I am, went back to find her, couldn't find her. So, and it was only just down the road. So I put a bedding box out for her in the greenhouse just in case, and a bit of food and all the rest of it. And then she found her. So she came in and started living in there, which was lovely. And then when it got really cold, we put her we gave her access, because we weren't touching her at that point. We just gave her access to a shed and a better, warmer spot. And that was lovely. And then one day she came to the back door and demanded to come in. And we're like, what's this all about? And when we opened the door, in she's come. In comes a little ginger kitten, followed by a little grey kitten that we didn't even know we'd been looking after. And this little grey kitten was in a hell of a state. Really wasn't very well at all. Couldn't touch him, feral, didn't want to know us. Wanted food and warm, but didn't want us to go anywhere near him. So I landed up, I put in a homeopathic remedy in some kitten milk. Well, cat milk watered down. And I put some remedies in and let him drink it in the hope that something would happen. And overnight, yeah, it pulled him round. Quite amazing. Come the morning, he was so much better. I think we would have lost him had she not brought him to us that night. So then they kicked around outside for a good while, and then basically they landed up coming in one way or another. But we didn't name them. See, I got sidetracked again. Back to the original why I was telling you any of this anyway. We wouldn't give them decent names. I say decent names. Different names other than Mummy Cat, Grey and Ginger, because we put them up for homing. And nobody wanted them because they were feral. Such a shame. They are now such gorgeous cats, and they're big and squishy and far too fat like me. They're just lovely. So we have 3 house cats that we'd never intended, and Tom's visitations, which is lovely. That's quite funny because he'll sit on the table outside sometimes, nose to nose with ours through the glass. That's quite interesting. Bless them. They all seem to get on. Nobody seems to take any notice of each other, but there we go. So yeah, so we have 3 and a partial. You really needed to hear all of that, didn't you? Sorry about that, folks. Right, anyway, I reckon you've had enough of me for today. Quick whiz through. Witter Quilt, full-size patterns, loads of everything, 15 quid over on the site, plus postage. Right. Big set of templates to make jolliness type things like that and the quilt behind. That's 33. Special offer, no postage. And then we have 3 sets, smaller sets, to make different aspects of those. All right. So it's this set that you can buy in 3 pieces if you don't want the whole thing, and they are 12, 13 and 13. All right. So if you buy that, you get a saving of a £5 around your postage. Those you save your postage as well. Anyway, we'll pay postage on those. I say we because it's handy as well. And if you do order any of these immediately and you think, Abby's in Cornwall, why is it coming from Norfolk? It'll be because Andy's sending them out. All right, I'm taking your orders for a minute until I see him next, once we can all get back together, and then he'll bring me some down. But in between, Andy will post any orders out. Okay, so he'll make them and send them directly to you. Okay, so that's those. And then if you're into and need to make anything like this, there's your fat quarter bundles if you're wanting them. They're 15 quid and 18 quid depending on your design. Plus postage. If you want a kit, message me and I'll see, can I get one for you done up. I mean, it could be you want different colours even. That's fine. And the same goes for any of my designs. If you want a kit, if I'm able to put one together for you, I will do. It might have substitute fabrics in it, but I don't mind. We'll sort it out. All right. Oh, full on yapping selling at you. Sorry, folks, but there we are. I like to eat occasionally, in case you hadn't noticed. Got to earn a few pennies, see, because I ain't got any classes and stuff, so it's all a little bit. So we're all having to adopt, aren't we? Or adopt? No. Adapt. That'll be the one. 3 things left to say, as ever. Go talk to your friends. Is everybody okay? I hope so. It's getting a little bit freer for a lot of us, and from today you can go and burst your bubble, can't you? I think that's a lovely expression for going out and doing. That's lovely. So you'll all get to see each other a little bit more, which is lovely, and I hope that applies to most of you. What else? Bit of exercise. Well, I've been up and down to the loft a couple of times today and around about and doing in between all of this. So I've not done too badly today. And what's the other one? Tidying. Well, do you know what? I have done a bit of tidying today, apart from the fact that what I did in the house. I had to tidy up this because you have never seen such a mess on my table today. All over the place, loads of it. All these patterns, computers, bits of bins and sticky. When I make a mistake, I put a little bit of white sticky on the original, see, and rewrite it and do it. And then when you photocopy it, it doesn't show. It's a good little white sticky instead of Tipp-Ex. Much easier. So lots of little bits of white. Because actually, all my patterns are the hand-drawn original ones, yeah? I don't do these things on computers and stuff. You get my originals. It's time-saving as much as anything. By the time I've done that, I can do that far quicker than I can playing on a computer because I'm not that. Yeah, there we are. So, there we go. Tidying, that was what I was saying. So, off we go. I'll talk to you on Wednesday, probably, I would hope. If I can help you with anything, please just message me and I'll see what I can do. All right, so my love to everybody. I hope you're all well. Okay, be lovely.